Anthony Joshua's car crash struck the boxing world like a sudden left hook no one saw coming. Early whispers failed to reflect the true severity of what had happened. But as verified details emerged through official and showbiz sources, fans began to realize this was not rumor, exaggeration, or hype. It was a devastating real-life tragedy.
Helping explain what really happened in Anthony Joshua's tragic car accident.
One brutal moment of reality.
All right. So, we have more information regarding the tragic car accident that Anthony A.J. Joshua was involved in, and everything that happened, including details on how the accident itself occurred. First, I want to say rest in peace to those two who passed away due to the accident. Anthony A.J. Joshua's very close and best friends and personal trainers, Lats and Cena. We found out early yesterday that it was indeed those two confirmed as his friends who passed away.
As authorities clarified the timeline, it became clear that confusion dominated the early hours. Confirmed reports later explained how the vehicle carrying Anthony Joshua lost control, and how investigators carefully reconstructed the sequence of events second by second.
Well, according to Nigeria's Federal Road Safety Corps, they said that the Lexus was traveling at a high speed, trying to maneuver around a vehicle, and lost control and ran into the commercial stationary truck.
From what we got to understand was that there was a trailer that was parked at the shoulder, whereby the vehicle conveying Anthony Joshua and his team did a wrongful overtake, and they ran into that vehicle.
Now here's images of the truck itself that the SUV struck. Very large commercial vehicle.
As reactions came in from the boxing,
with official explanations now public and reactions pouring in from across the boxing world, the picture became clearer. Reports revealed that on a Nigerian highway, the Lexus carrying Joshua attempted to overtake another vehicle at high speed, lost control, and slammed into a stationary commercial truck, a detail that completely changed the understanding of how violent and unforgiving the crash truly was.
That was just, I don't know, man, that was crazy. You know, first of all, rest in peace to both of the gentlemen. I hope they families, you know what I mean, like, could get past that. That's like crazy. I know it's gonna be tough, but I don't know, that was just crazy, you know, looking at it. I mean, I don't know how that happened. I don't know. And I know Anthony Joshua got to feel terrible. You know what I mean? Because they was with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That was a rough jump, man.
As images of the massive truck circulated online, the scale of the collision became impossible to ignore. This was not a minor roadside accident, but a catastrophic impact against an immovable object, a moment where physics overpowered protection, and survival came down to inches, angles, and cruel randomness.
he tweeted, Arep Sinagami and Kevin Latif Shah Lats Iodel. My thoughts and prayers are with their families and friends and AJ.
The boxing community responded immediately. Speaker One described how trainer Greg Hackett spoke with raw emotion, offering condolences to the families of Arep Sinagogami and Kevin Latif Shah Lats Iodel, while acknowledging the unbearable emotional weight Anthony Joshua must now carry, far heavier than any loss suffered inside the ring.
It's like this is the clearest fixed fight you're ever gonna see. But look at this guy holding his hands up and watch. Watch this. He literally shows him his chin, and he goes down. It's so fake. Look at him. He's got nothing.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw,
tributes flooded social media from fighters, fans, and rivals alike. Jake Paul publicly honored the lives lost, offering prayers for the families and support for Anthony Joshua. It marked a rare pause in boxing's endless noise, a moment where competition faded and shared humanity took center stage.
He came to my ears and whispered, "Please be easy on me. He thought I'm Mike Tyson and I will follow his script 40 seconds after I broke the clown's jaw. We are boxers, not content creators." I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw,
the day after I woke up and told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes. I remember one thing. I had a very hard moment in that part of my life, but I assure you, in that age, I could have put that clown in the first round, but I sold my soul. And
you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh, you know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punch that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 bunches.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah. It was a lot of concussions.
Concern quickly shifted to Joshua's condition. When news confirmed that he had survived, the moment took on national significance. Nigerian President Iwaju Ahmed Tinubu personally visited Anthony Joshua in the hospital, a powerful gesture that underscored how deeply this tragedy resonated beyond the sport.
You know, I'm going to get out of the way a little bit on this one and let you lead the way, because you knew these men personally and you know Anthony personally, and you've been calling shows in West Africa, not Nigeria, but in Ghana recently. And it's horrible news to be met with before the New Year's for Joshua, who had to be feeling good about his stature being risen in the United States to a new level. And I would say he was going over there to celebrate, but really him and this man Latif, they go there frequently all the time, so they weren't even necessarily really celebrating. This is just kind of what they do in Nigeria.
Reflecting on the personal impact, Sean Ziddle emphasized that this loss struck Joshua's inner circle. These were not distant acquaintances, but close friends, making the timing especially cruel, as the accident occurred just before the new year, a time usually filled with hope and renewal.
But I know you have a lot of deep thoughts about this, Raheem. What do you have to say for the audience?
I think the first thing to get out of the way is just the facts. I'm not on the ground. However, there are some facts about this situation that should be laid very plain. 4 men in the car. Anthony Joshua and the driver survived this accident. Anthony Joshua was sat behind the driver in the back seat. Sitting next to him was one of the men who fatally lost their life in this crash, and sitting next to the driver was the other man. I don't know whether Latif or Cena was in the front or back seat, but if you don't know, they drive on the right side of the road there, so both Joshua and the driver would be on the right side of the car. It has been characterized by the Ghanaian authority, it has been characterized by the Nigerian authorities that the car was speeding and trying to overtake another car, suggesting that they were driving reckless, and then slammed into a stationary vehicle, which means a vehicle that wasn't moving. It was a massive truck. I saw that in a video. There has also been a report that the tire blew out, maybe while they were in the action of overtaking the vehicle, and that is how the driver lost control and slammed into the stationary truck. For context, I've never been on this particular road in Nigeria. However, I have been to West Africa many times. In Ghana, I've been in other...
Speaker 1 provided broader context, explaining that Joshua's trips to Nigeria were routine rather than celebratory. This stripped away any sensational framing and reinforced that the tragedy occurred during ordinary life, making it even more chilling and relatable to people everywhere. To help the public understand the incident, authorities released a crash diagram. Speaker 1 explained that it showed Anthony Joshua seated behind the driver, with a fatal impact striking the right side of the vehicle, a detail that clarified why some survived, while others tragically did not.
Precious value of life. Life is precious, and no matter if you make no money, no matter if you make tons of money, sure, your living experience will be different, and some live, quote unquote, better than others, but the gift, the ultimate gift is life. And it didn't matter today that AJ was one of the biggest stars a week ago in the world. It didn't matter that he had this record-breaking boxing match. Didn't matter that he got paid a ton of money. Didn't matter that he was worth a ton of money. Today, all that mattered was God looked down on him and saved his life. And again, unfortunately for the two men that passed, they weren't as fortunate. And I pray for them, I pray for their families, pray for AJ, but it just shows you how precious every day is and how you have to take every day as a reminder that this life is short.
The narrative then shifted toward reflection. Wade Plemons' words echoed through the discussion, reminding viewers that life's value does not increase with fame or wealth, and that even a global star like Anthony Joshua is bound by the same fragile limits as anyone else.
For every second you breathe air, because it can all change in an instant. I can't imagine what AJ, again, you know, obviously the main concern should be the people and the families of those deceased. I can't imagine what AJ is going to have to deal with in terms of the grief, the emotional strain, the physical anguish. I mean, his two, apparently, according to a lot of the people that are speaking about this, his two of his best friends just died in front of him. You know, things are bigger than boxing right now. I saw everybody reaching out. It's Ricky Alashake, owner, CEO of the Ring Magazine, Jake Paul, Piers Morgan, everybody around the boxing scene coming together, regardless of what they think of each other, and that's something I love to see in our sport, coming together to send our prayers, send our thoughts.
This tragic accident shows how fragile life is.
Speaker 1 emphasized how the boxing world united in this moment. Figures such as Tricky Alashake of the Ring Magazine, Jake Paul, and Piers Morgan set aside differences to share prayers and support, proving that tragedy can momentarily dissolve ego and rivalry.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic. So big. He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
He's so big.
Then came the rumors. Days later, allegations surfaced claiming Jake Paul had attempted to bribe Anthony Joshua before the fight. Meanwhile, the emotional toll on Joshua became impossible to ignore, as reports suggested that two of his closest friends died right in front of him. A trauma no training camp, championship belt, or payday can prepare anyone to endure.
Jake Paul, pin him down and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but the right hand finally found it.
Then came the rumors. Days after the fight, allegations began circulating that Jake Paul had attempted to bribe Anthony Joshua before the bout.
Speaker 1 framed the incident as something far bigger than boxing. Moments like this force fighters and fans alike to re-evaluate priorities, because applause fades, headlines move on, but grief and survival remain permanently etched into those who live through it.
Seemed to me like sparring.
Yeah.
When I watched it, which, you know, look, I paid for it. They got me. I thought it was going to be a real fight, but I'm not mad.
Yeah. $1 million on.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's why. Look, maybe it was a real fight. Maybe that's just the level that they both fight at. But you know, it seemed a little sus. You know.
The story closed with a powerful reminder of how fragile life truly is. Anthony Joshua survived, but lost those closest to him, sparking a global outpouring of support that reminds us healing, strength, and remembrance matter far more than any victory ever could.
I mean, I never felt it was anything other than entertainment. I'm not surprised that it... I mean, Anthony Joshua could have knocked Jake Paul out anytime he wanted to. He didn't want to.
So why didn't he?
Because, well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why? You watch a Netflix series, you can watch it and you can go, well, I get the gist of it. Why have you got to turn it into 10 episodes? Because I'm dying with boredom after episode.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasised, listen guys, take this as long as you can?
Anthony Joshua didn't step, irrespective, I sat to all these guys, whether it be Spencer or Paul Smith, talking about the fact that Jake Paul couldn't run, didn't have the footwork to be able to move around the ring.
So nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the 2-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
I mean, I told everyone, though, that I would do better than Francis, and that Francis kind of got no chin.
So
Francis low-key soft.
You made it further than Francis.
Yeah.
So there was, I mean, by ref 6, he won 6 rounds.
You know what that means.
What we got here?
As I look at it, you know, for the fans, it put boxing still on the map because it keeps boxing relevant. Having exhibition fights like this, different celebrities and different things like that. I look at it as a fun thing for fans and stuff like that. I don't really take it seriously, you know, because, you know, we in the business of boxing. That right there is just, you know, exhibition stuff. But I'm hearing they say it's a real fight, but yeah, it's a real fight because both guys are getting in there fighting. You know, I'm still the one that be down.
I mean, Simon, when you look at it, Jake Paul posted on Twitter after the fight, jaw broken, heart and balls intact. That's a good thing. Time to rest, recover, and return to cruiserweight. I mean, he's coming out of it as if, well, yeah, I got battered in the end, but boy,